former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau, alongside his colleagues in the League of Northern Democrats, has announced plans to transform the group into a full-fledged political party. The new party, expected to be named the League of National Democrats, aims to challenge the political dominance of the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party. The LND, originally formed as a pro-Northern movement advocating governance reforms, is now expanding its vision to incorporate individuals from southern Nigeria in a bid to form a more inclusive political platform. In a statement issued in Abuja, the convener of the League, Dr. Umar Ado, sharply criticized both the APC and the PDP for their handling of Nigeria's governance. He accused the two major parties of failing to address the country's pressing issues and perpetuating a cycle of self-service and dishonesty. And to help us shed more light on the latest political development, we have now in the studio with us Sani, who is a former presidential aide and prominent member of the League of Northern Democrats, LND. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
You're welcome.
You've been vocal about the failures of both the PDP, the opposition party, and the APC, the All Progressives Congress, in addressing Nigeria's challenges. Now, given that political reforms often face significant resistance from whether interest from any side, how does this League of Northern Democrats plan to break the strongholds of these two major parties that we have in Nigeria?
Let me start by saying that the League of Northern Democrats was birthed as a result of the need to harmonize and to reinvigorate politics within the northern part of the country. And the idea is to serve as a pressure group, so that and put on toes other sociocultural or political organizations in the north, so that together we come together and then chart a course, for the future of this country. So the League of Northern Democrats is not only looking at the north as its own territory, it is looking at the entire country. However, in view of recent developments within the major political parties, the PDP is unstable, the APC is not performing very well, So the idea was mooted, even though it remains as an idea, because a lot of people have been coming with their ideas, even from the south. We have been discussing with some very prominent leaders of thought in the southern part of the country who are willing to come together with us, and transmute into a political party. But that decision has not been taken yet.
Okay.
And so we remain members of our individual political affiliations, however, working still as a pressure group within the League of Northern Democrats. What we intend to achieve at the end is that if there is harmony, if we put pressure on the major political parties and they decide to come up and provide the needed opposition and or the leadership role that they were bestowed on with, then we will have no need to transmute into a political party.
What you're saying is the League of Northern Democrats has not decided to transit into a full-fledged political party. We're just doing consultations.
No, we are now in the stages of consultation.
Okay, and you've emphasized the need for unity, yes, to unite with like-minded individuals from the south as well to form a more inclusive party if this eventually happens.
Exactly.
In Nigeria, we know that we're deeply sort of divided along ethnic and regional lines. What sort of strategies are in place to ensure that this potential collaboration is seen as genuine?
Well, let me say that we have among us people who are versatile and well-versed, and they understand and appreciate, the diversity of the country. And we will use them, as our launching pad, to try to sensitize the nation and to start sensitize the people so that together we shall achieve the needed goal as encapsulated in our constitution, which is equal opportunities for all. Now, what we have people who have agreed now that we are working towards providing the needed atmosphere for everybody, including the minorities and the majorities, to come together and see themselves, first and foremost, as citizens of Nigeria, and as patriots and as those who want to move Nigeria forward. And that anybody who is qualified to hold a certain position is supported to hold that position, because we want excellence and competence. Then we will have no issue. Those primordial sentiments are what we want to put aside, and then bring in competence, capacity, and continuity.
When you talk about the issues of Nigeria, the League of Northern Democrats say the aim is to tackle poverty, insecurity, corruption. These are all challenges that we've had throughout the years that we've struggled with in Nigeria. What sort of policies are you looking at, or innovative approaches would the League be able to propose when it comes to dealing with these challenges?
Well, the League is not a political party yet.
Yeah, but it's a pressure group.
Yes, as a pressure group, we are putting, we have, for instance, during this debate on the tax reform bill, we have been able to put our position across, to the relevant authorities on what we believe in, as it relates to the tax reform.
And what is the position?
Our position is we are not against the tax reform, but we are looking at the areas where some amendments ought to have been made. For instance, we brought in the issue of the inheritance tax, which is a religious issue within the northern part of the country. It is difficult to implement. It will create a lot of disharmony and so forth and so on. So these are areas we have itemized and said, okay, look at this. These are areas you should look at. But we are also not unmindful of the fact that our tax system are archaic, and they need to be rejuvenated, and they need to be standardized, to be brought to fore, so that, with a good tax system, corruption can clearly and cleverly be tackled. And because those who steal, once they know that the majority of the money goes back to the government, they will be discouraged in stealing those things. And with the current fiscal and financial monetary policies in place, where there is no much currency, everything is done transactionally within the banks, it is difficult for anybody to go and hide anything anywhere. So transparency will be enhanced, and so forth and so on. These are some of the areas. To tackle poverty, these areas also will avenues to tackle poverty. When money is available to government will be able to use this money judiciously for the purpose of providing succor to poverty-stricken areas.
Before I let you go, Mr. Sani, is there a timeline when we would know what the decision of the League of Northern Democrats is in terms of transitioning into a full-fledged political party?
Well, the League is intending to hold a meeting, and our next meeting, we will look at all these areas, broadly, and be able to take a holistic decision as to what next. Are we still remaining within our political affiliations and be operating as a pressure group, or we shall transmit into a political party? But before then, our job now is we stand as a pressure group.
Thank you so much, Umar Sani, a former presidential aide and a prominent member of the League of Northern Democrats, for joining us on Newsnight.